people like Elon Musk getting tax breaks and kissing up to Donald Trump. It's heartbreaking, actually. It is heartbreaking. Tulsi Gabbard nomination is a pro-war nomination globally. Point blank, period.
All right, so Joy Reid, AOC, together in one show, absolutely will blow your mind. They're trying to figure out why there were voters who voted for AOC and Trump. It exposes some of the out-of-touch mindset that Joy Reid has and the entire Democratic Party, rather. And so I think you're going to get a kick out of this because they can't even figure out the actual answer. And I'm going to give you the answer in this video. Let's hear the first part of this.
There is universal frustration in this country. Much of it, I actually think, justified, that is raging at a political establishment that centers corporate interests, billionaires, and puts their needs ahead of the needs of working Americans. And we know that we can either channel this righteous rage, because there are people whose SNAP was cut off, their child tax credits were cut off, but they're seeing people like Elon Musk getting tax breaks and kissing up to Donald Trump in order to do so.
But they vote for, then why vote for Elon Musk and Donald Trump?
And I think that, of course, is the question.
It makes no sense.
And I think part of it has to do with the fact that.
Yeah, so let me clarify something, because, again, this is why I told you guys, she doesn't even know what she's talking about. And it's actually sad because she's a congresswoman. People are not upset that Elon Musk is rich. They're upset that these benefits were cut off, and these same benefits are being given to illegal migrants. But of course, you don't want to talk about that because that's an indictment on your own party. You guys want mass migration to this country, which is ludicrous. That's why people are truly upset. And then you throw that with inflation and the cost of everything else. It's an utter disaster.
And I think we're still in a process of going through the data. It's important to say that.
Yes.
And I actually think that it's important to say that the people who are rushing to say, let me give you my grand theory of what's going on right now.
The problem is you went too woke. Sorry, Kamala Harris was running with Liz Cheney at her side. She wasn't going quote unquote woke.
If we had an election on November 5th and November 6th, you've got an answer.
Right.
Don't listen to those people.
I agreed.
No. She was trying to escape how woke she was. But the problem with that is it's a contradiction to who she really is. She is woke. There's no question about it. She's from San Francisco. You want most of the country to believe that she does not believe in those San Francisco ideals? Give us a break. That's what's going on here. And trotting out Liz Cheney was an utter disaster. It was one of the biggest mistakes of the entire campaign because no one on the Democrat side or the Republican side truly wants Liz Cheney.
In all of this debate that people are talking about with this woke thing, right? Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's because we care about trans people, and that's why.
And by the way, only Donald Trump cared about trans people because he was the one running $130 million worth of ads. The Harris campaign said nothing about this issue.
That's right. That's right. And listen, the ads, it's not to even deny the fact that these ads were effective in certain areas. What I think people are paying too much attention to is the first half of that ad, which says Kamala Harris is, or that said, Kamala Harris is for they, them. Everyone's focusing on that. They're not focusing on the second half of that ad where he said, Donald Trump is for you.
Okay, so if we take AOC at her word that it's about who cares about you more, then Donald Trump blew Kamala Harris out of the water. There's no question about that. Why? Because Donald Trump is not fake. Kamala Harris is. It's one of the biggest indictments on her as a candidate. There's a reason why. She's one of the most unlikable politicians. I mean, it just is what it is. Even people in California do not want her to become governor. We don't want that. Even though there are rumors that she's planning to run to be governor, that's all speculation. We'll see. But when your energy is fake, you're never going to win that argument. I don't care if you keep calling your opponent a fascist or racist, the next thing to Hitler. That's not going to land for people. And we saw that. So while you're over there saying we need to wait for the numbers and no, we know what it is. Just look at the results. The results show that 48 out of 50 states all moved to the right. I think that probably tells the story. Okay, so now they get into trying to explain what they think about Trump's cabinet picks. And this is where she really lost me.
it's heartbreaking, actually. It is heartbreaking. And people may want to take like a kind of vengeful stance about this, but it is genuinely heartbreaking.
And we haven't even gotten to Tulsi Gabbard potentially having access to national security information. And Russia loves it, loves her.
And I actually think almost more than Matt Gaetz, Tulsi Gabbard's appointment is devastating. And Tulsi Gabbard's nomination, as much as she says that she's an anti-war person, she's not.
Yeah.
She supports very pro-war individuals.
Including
abroad.
in Syria.
And let's be very clear, a Tulsi Gabbard nomination is a pro-war nomination globally. Point blank, period.
As is Donald Trump as president of the United States.
Okay, so this is just another example of if we look at what our eyes have told us, if we look at Trump's first presidency, it contradicts what they just said. But they adamantly want you to believe what they just said, that this is a pro-war pick, as if Tulsi Gabbard is a war hawk, that Tulsi Gabbard is Liz Cheney. That's really where they're going with all this. And what I find interesting is if you're going to disagree with the picks, that's fine. But can you provide some substance on why that is? This right here is a straight up propaganda, right? And if you're going to come out that way, not only do you make yourself look bad, like you don't even know what you're talking about, but secondly, it probably proves Donald Trump's point that challenging the establishment is going to break Washington. And it's something that needs to happen because you guys are so out of touch with what the American people truly want. All right. So since we're on this topic of AOC, right, and how hypocritical they are and the propaganda and understanding what people really want in this country, I don't think AOC is stupid. She knows what she's doing because she has removed pronouns from her bio. Now, why would she do something like that? Because she knows that voters are tired of that nonsense. Check it out. So this was obviously a while ago, and it had she, her in it. And now it's gone. It's no longer there. Okay. So she removed it. She replaced she, her with personal account. So there you go. Now, again, the question is, well, why would she do that? I honestly believe that she'll probably run for president. I assume in the future she has to. I think she has a good chance on that side to be a contender because for all intents and purposes, she is an outsider. She is not Nancy Pelosi. She definitely is a Bernie Sanders type, in my opinion. And but I don't think she's good for this country, of course. So I think she knows what she's doing. She's probably learning a lot from what her followers told her on why they voted for Trump and her at the same time.
Following Kamala Harris's decisive loss last week, Representative Ocasio-Cortez wanted to get some answers on how it could be that some of the voters in her district could cast their ballots for her, but vote for Donald Trump for president. Now, AOC's district swung to Trump by one of the highest margins among New York voters. And you know, it's pretty big, it's a big deal. And here's what people told her. One person said, "It's real simple, Trump and you care for the working class." Another wrote, "Harris was more for rights than the economy, and when she talked about it, she didn't have a plan." Another person says, "You are focused on the real issues people care about, similar to Trump populism in some ways." Most of the responses that AOC shared mentioned the fact that she and Donald Trump are considered outsider politicians who aren't part of the establishment. One person says, I voted Trump, but I like you and Bernie. I don't trust either party's establishment politicians." One other person says, "You signified change, Trump signified change. I've said lately, Trump sounds more like you."
All right, so here's a question for you. I want you to put this in the comment section, all right? Why do you believe that there were voters who obviously voted for AOC and Donald Trump in the same election? What do you think was the main reason for doing so? Put your thoughts in the comment section below. Now, I had already said it. My answer is clear. AOC is an outsider just like Trump. She's not really part of the establishment. Now, she has bent the knee quite a few times so far to the establishment. She's gotten really away from being that outsider that got her elected in the first place. So we'll see where she goes from here. She's smart. She'll get away from what the Democratic Party has been doing. She'll tone down this progressive rhetoric as well. And she'll start going all in on this populist movement, which is what Trump has done, but on the conservative side. And I would say probably the first step that she should take if she really wants to do that is she should call for Nancy Pelosi to not be reelected, right? I can't believe she's trying to get reelected again. That's insane. But that is my opinion. What do you guys think about all this? Now, speaking of being smart, Mayor Eric Adams has truly been very careful with how he's been answering questions since he's been indicted. Now, this is the New York City mayor. Clearly, he's had a migration crisis on his hands as well. He's been very critical of Joe Biden. He went on to The View and he shut them down completely because they are still stuck on the issues that do not matter to the American people. And once again, shows us why they are out of touch. If you want to check out that video, all you have to do is click on it because it's coming up right now.